Welcome, crypto fam, to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. In today's show, I'll be breaking down the latest Bitcoin technical analysis as the price action is currently correcting, holding just above 64,000. Also discussing breaking news. The Idaho Republican Party announces it'll protect the right to use Bitcoin and oppose the creation of a CBDC. Let's go. We'll also be discussing breaking news. Tether launches gold-backed US dollar stablecoin alloy. That's right. We'll also be discussing VanEck to launch the first Bitcoin ETF on Australia's Security Exchange this week. We'll also be discussing much higher than 80,000 per coin, according to the Binance CEO, not CZ, but the new Binance CEO. We'll also be discussing the latest from Jan 3's Samson, who says, I know Bitcoin is going to $1 million per coin. Send it. We'll also be discussing GameStop implementing a Bitcoin treasury strategy would be a brilliant move, pushing the price of the stock to $1,000, according to MaxKeiser. And speaking of the high priest, I'm also going to be sharing with you his bullish $3 million price prediction and how he arrived at this particular math. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more in today's show. Welcome, crypto fam. What it do? Make some noise in the live chat. Let me know if the stream is loud, clear, and smooth. A great BTFD day. It's about African dip. Shout out Devon. Shout out Crypto Surge, Alan, Haley, Steve, and the rest of the fam. JC, Ice Baby, Knox Bill. What it do? Chandy, pleasure to see you. Everyone, welcome our newest moderator. Chandy, I made you a moderator last night, so you should be all set up. I appreciate y'all. Much love and respect. Welcome to the live stream. If we are live and in the flesh right now, repost it. Spread the word. Let people know we're live. We're going to be streaming for the next 2 hours. Welcome to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. You already know.
Oh my gosh, it's finally almost here. JV is going to talk to us. Crypto news is near. I can't stand waiting. There is no debating it. I waited all day, maybe I need a life, but Bitcoin is all I can think about day and night. Hurry, JV.
Welcome everyone to the live stream. It's an honor to be here today. A great BTFD opportunity. So seize the moment. I finally got the live on time. Shout out to Brooke Ashley. Appreciate your support. Mr. Bone Daddy, what it do, broski? Chris Klein says the bottom is in, JV. What's up? Smash them likes, peep. The Nippinator indicator. You already know. Shout out to the Nippinator. The one and only. And considering we're in that 60 G's region, take it away.
Bitcoin, 60 G's, 60 G's. Buying opportunity for 5th level sexy G's. What do you think, JV? By the biddy, who cares about a roaring kitty?
Boring kitty. We're also going to be discussing hypothetically if GameStop hit $1,000 stock price. I think it's probably like 30 or 40 bucks right now. And what that would do, obviously, if they put the Bitcoin on the balance sheet, would be a big deal. I'll be sharing the insights from the high priest, MaxKeiser. Please do repost this, spread the word. We're streaming on 3 platforms. I kind of am done with Kick and Twitch, just FYI, because I looked at the analytics and nobody's watching the stream over there. So all the people following me on Kick and Twitch are because you guys are just supporting me over there. So for now on, the 3 platforms we'll be streaming on moving forward: YouTube, Rumble, and X. Why, do the extra platforms if nobody's watching it? It makes no sense. So it's all good because X, we have the biggest audience for the live, and then YouTube, and then Rumble for the uncensored version of the pod alongside X. You know what I mean? So just so you guys know, I'm drinking kombucha and watching the #1 Bitcoin pod. Let's go.
A boring kitty, not me. I'm for the bitty. I'm for the Nippinator. I'm for Nipsey, not for the weirdo Kit Kat kitty cat. The kitty cat. I'm for stacking the sats. Stack the sats. Ain't no thing, baby. It's a chance to stack those sats. Chance to stack the bitties.
Amen. If everyone reposts this, and if we can get a repost from MaxKeiser, I mean, we can get 10,000 people on today's stream. Easy peasy. We've done it before. I appreciate that, Serge. All the reposts tremendously help out on the X algorithm. So greatly appreciate that. If you're watching on the tube, simply smash those thumbs up. Make sure you hit the bell icon and you have all notifications turned on. And I'd also encourage you to subscribe over on Rumble at rumble.cryptonewsalerts.net and follow me over on X. That way you actually get notified each and every day when I go live. I appreciate it.
Baby, you never heard about me with another coin. Bitcoin. I got my mind on my Bitcoin and my Bitcoin on my mind. 60 G's, a buying up or 280.
Amen to that. Shout out facts. And there's the Nimpinator indicator. That cute little head always gets cut off here. But anyways, welcome Guido and the rest of the fam. Welcome to the stream.
Bitcoin. But I don't sweat it because it's just pathetic to let it get me involved in that sell on the dip crowd, sell on the dip crowd, dip sell, dope sell, no Bitcoin sell. I'm no sellout. Bitcoin, Roger out.
Roger out. Shout out Warren G, Warren McCarthy. Appreciate you tuning in, brother. 19 Imperial, JV, so glad I am here, my man. Everything getting effed hard. Glad to see you're with the hopeful stream. You got that right. We holding it down. Much necessary here for the fam. I need to get a life, but Bitcoin is all I think of day and night. Welcome to Bitcoin, Diana. Welcome to Bitcoin.
Roger out.
You know I got the bullishness for you guys today. Shout out Laser Cat. Larry shows his gratitude for the ETF and keeps the price down until the elections. Referring to Lawrence Fink there, CEO of BlackRock, 100% with you. The reggae tune reminded me to plug my old band, the Harbor Boys. They are playing the Reggae Rise Up Festival in Baltimore this weekend. Shout out to the Harbor Boys. That's what's up. Shaggy and Soja are playing after them. That's what's up. I know Shaggy. It wasn't me. That was a pretty classic joint back in the day. Enjoy that at the concert there, brother. Shout out Devon. How you been? Darth Melda in the building. We got a lot of the fam here. Greg says, I hold Bitcoin and CleanSpark. I use the proceeds from CleanSpark to buy more of the biddies. Amen to that. Very bullish on the miners, I see, brother. Good stuff. BTFD peeps, buy it up. You already know Sailor is probably making that $700 million purchase here this week at the dip. You know what I mean? So pull a Mikey Sailor. And I did see that, obviously, Jake Paul's no longer fighting Mike Tyson. He's now fighting Platinum Mike Perry. Kind of laughable. To me, it's a joke. But it's not a joke. He's dead serious. He's fighting Platinum Mike Perry, who is a bare-knuckle brawler and not a boxer. I mean, he fights bare-knuckle, don't get it twisted, but Jake Paul is going to off him very easy, in my opinion. I think Mike at age 58 would have gave Jake Paul a better competition, in my humble opinion, but you guys let me know your thoughts. Shout out George. Buy the dip or wait for the possible more dump. There's risks associated with that. If you're going to wait for a $48,000 dip, according to Peter Brandt, the old man, it may never happen and you may miss that buying opportunity. So I say DCA and take advantage of what you can. You know what I mean? Don't sit on the sidelines for too long here, especially post-halving, because we're going to have a bullish run potentially until fourth quarter of next year is what I'm anticipating. You feel me? Greg says to see stargazers out there, if Bitcoin is celestially aligned, the summer solstice is 2 days out. So the strawberry full moon, I think Bitcoin is going to make a big move by Friday, 6/21/24. And if you guys want, we'll look at the charts here shortly. We'll look at the live charts and we'll check it out. I'll show you some of the targets and all that good stuff. Definitely bottoming the structure for sure. Got a silhouette formation on the 5-minute. Nice. We're going to be checking out some of these charts. So welcome everyone joining the stream. We're live and in the flesh right now. We're live streaming on X, on Rumble, and on YouTube. The chat you see is the YouTube stream for the chat. And to go to the YouTube channel, it's cryptonewsalerts.net. We greatly appreciate all the support. Who bought the dip? Put a BTFD there. We're definitely going to be looking at that 4-hour chart here shortly in JC. So here's what we're going to do. Without further ado, if you're new to the channel, very important to smash those likes and subscribe to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. Also hit that bell icon to turn on all notifications. And please do repost this if you're watching the stream over on X, as it helps out tremendously to get more eyeballs on the stream. Today is pod episode number 1674. I'm your host, JV, and it is June 18th, 2024. Markets are correcting. We just hit a new bottom of 64.4 where we're currently at the time of the live stream. But let's check out Coin 360. You can see it's not just Bitcoin, but the entire crypto market correcting and in the red, as you can see on your screen. Ether is back down to 3,400. Solana down to 134 bucks, and even XRP down 6% on the day, trading back at 48 cents. And checking out coinmarketcap.com, the current crypto market cap sits at $2.33 trillion. The Bitcoin market cap is back down to 1.268 trillion. We were above 1.3 trillion for the past few days, but unfortunately, another correction here in the market, as you can see. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers for the past 24 hours, nada, zero, zilch, nothing in the green virtually. I mean, this is not looking so great, but nonetheless, it's because we're having a mass market correction. And checking out the crypto bubbles to get a visual perspective on the day. Literally, I see one tiny coin called BGB in the green and Leo. Everything else in the red. That means 98% of the market bleeding right now. But Bitcoin's holding its own, only down a couple of percent. Some of these alts are down 10, 20 plus percent. And zooming out on the monthly to get a broader perspective, only a handful in the green. I'd say less than 10%. Again, massive losses overall in the crypto sphere. And checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, we're back at that divine number of 74. I love 7s and 4s because if you add them up, it's 11, which is a divine omen, just like 8s and 3s. Just saying, but I digress. Yesterday was a 71, last week it was a 74, and last month it was a 72 in greed. So there you have it. Crypto La Familia. Where do you feel the Bitcoin price likely to go? In fact, I have a live poll up right now in the chat. Please do let me know how low you feel will go. Do you think the bottom is already in? Do you think we tap between 60 and 63 thou? Do you think it'll go all the way down to 55 to 59 thou or below 55,000? I'm all ears. Let me know. And towards the end of the stream, we'll end the poll and we'll see what you guys think. Let's go. Bloodbath. Amen, Mr. Bone Daddy. Does the ETF came in play? The Bitcoin looks like it is being manipulated. Sure is. I mean, as much manipulation they can do, they're going to take advantage of. And apparently they're doing just that. You know what I mean? But still a very optimistic time to buy if you compare the risk-reward ratio. What's the risk right now? Oh my God, we dropped back down into the 50s. What's the reward? We surged to $1 million per coin in the next few years. So you got to keep that in mind as well. And FYI, there is no investment advice given on this chat from my lips, and there is no investment advice in the live chat. Everything you see or read on this particular stream, YouTube channel, X, or Rumble account is strictly for entertainment purposes only. And just saying. Get ready for the bumpy ride. Amen. I'm ready for that roller coaster. You feel me? My numerology number is an 11, JV. Well, we have a lot in common, a JC Ice Ice baby. I was born on the 11th. My daughter was born on the 11th, both February 11th. So what's the odds of your child sharing the same birthday on the 11th? Very, very rare. I don't know any friends who have their child's birthday on the same day. But anyways, 11 is a divine omen. Happy 11/11. JV, the price won't matter unless you are selling. Exactly. One Bitcoin will always be equivalent to one Bitcoin, Mark. Tell them 10 years ago, it was the same. 10 years from now, it's still going to be the same. One bitty will always be one bitty. But yeah, we do like to compare it just for, kicks and giggles to the fiat currency price. But we all know all these fiat currencies are going to return to their intrinsic value. Zero. You know what I mean? So 61,000, and I hope my house, car, and mother-in-law could be sold in due time, says Lasercat. What is not manipulated? Good question, Don George. No matter what the price is, we must stay humble. Exactly. And if you saw the meme I posted last night, you know precisely what I'm talking about. It's all about stacking sats and remaining humble, family. Explosive Plan B said Bitcoin would not go back below 64. Hope he is right. We shall soon see here. JV, do you DCA at these levels as dirty? Personal information, to be honest, I'm not buying the dip right now. I'm in a different probably situation than everyone here in the live chat. You know what I mean? So I'm not buying the dip at this moment. I employed all of my capital into Bitcoin many years ago, and just FYI. So if I had extra capital coming in, excess streaming revenue from YouTube, Google ads, that's exactly what I would be doing. But I don't have excess income coming in since my YouTube termination, just keeping it 100. I'm trying to build back up to where I was at. My daughter was born on my B-Day. You too won. Wow, what a blessing. On April 22nd. That's what's up. Tomorrow's my birthday. Shout out Mr. Bone Daddy. JV, can you explain why the Fear and Greed Index has risen so much selling? We're supposed to be in the 50s. I guess it readjusts. I mean, I don't know the algorithm of the actual crypto greed and fear index, but typically the higher the number goes, the more likely a sell-off, and vice versa. The lower we go, more likely we are to pump. But there's exceptions to everything. You got to keep that in mind. So that's why we don't ever only go by one indicator. We got to look at many indicators. My wife is even manipulated. Exactly, Ty Fox. Sounds like your wife is compromised. Sorry. The Bitcoin... The Bitcoin pump happening tomorrow for my birthday. Please send it. Let's go. Consider the dip another buy opportunity. Amen. Timing is everything. I have no more money to DCA. Welcome to the club. I'm just saying. Now, in a perfect world, if I just had excess capital flowing in every day, exactly what I would be doing. I'd just be buying the dip because I wouldn't want to be saving in fiat. You feel me? Saving in fiat is for suckers. You know, those who save in fiat currency. What do we call them?
But like most of the people who are buying assets at some point want to sell the assets at a profit.
You feel me? Buying, keeping those stats a stacking when others are fearful. There you go, Craig. Welcome to the stream. I have no more money to DCA. Y'all crazy. I'm buying. F it. Well, do it up.
People that use fiat.
I never thought of that. Keep the crystals covered during the equinoxes. What do you cover the crystal? This is my daughter's crystal. I bought her maybe a month ago at the mall. It's an amethyst, like a pink crystal, but has the chakras on it. I thought it was cool because I like these wand crystals. I have a few of them myself, and just good energy. I like to sleep with the crystals personally.
Currency as a store of.
You got it right, Devon. We call them poor. You got it right, Steve. You got it right, Knox. Bill, welcome, brother. Saga Alpha Club, welcome. Mr. Bone Daddy, you got it.
Of value. We call them poor. We call them poor.
Yeah, the Nippinator is actually in the sun today. That's very interesting. He's sitting on the tile in that sunspot. You see on the screen in the mirror. Since 6:13, I've been DCAing, buying like a drunken sailor. Amen to that. I'm DCAing my favorite alts right now. I am heavy on the biddies. Love to hear you're heavy on the biddies there, Dirty. We call them Jed Champlet before he struck oil. Poor.
People that use.
Oh, that's good to note. Usually cover the crystals with a silk cloth. Okay. Good stuff there, JC. When is this celestial event occurring? Let me know. Was that on the 20th? Let me know.
Fiat currency. We call them poor.
You got that right. But anyways, fam, everyone new to the channel, please do smash the likes, subscribe, let people know we're live and in the flesh. We're going to be streaming for the next 2 hours, and happy 420, broskies. It is that time. A little later, I'll even light the sage. So let's freaking go. But what we're going to do next is dive into today's Bitcoin technical analysis, check out the charts, where the price action is likely to take us next. And I promise to show you some of the live charts as well here today on TradingView. But this article was just published before I went live. So this is going to be the latest data. Traders unbothered by Bitcoin sub 65,000 level, says the Bitcoin price remains high and steady. That's right, yo. Here you're looking at the daily chart. TradingView showed Bitcoin drop to a 1 month low of 64.2, the current bottom, after losing key support provided by the psychological $65,000 level. Similarly, the total market cap has dropped 2% over the last 24 hours to reset at 2.3 trillion at this time, referring to the total crypto market cap. And we got the Bitcoin market cap back down to 1.2 trillion. The 60% leap in the total trading volume is testimony to the sell side intensity in the crypto market. Bitcoin's dropped below 65,000, which led to massive liquidations across the markets. Data from CoinGlass shows that over the last 24 hours, 61 million worth of long Bitcoin positions have been liquidated against 24 million worth of short liquidations, and approximately 372 million of leveraged long crypto positions were liquidated in the 24 hours against 61.8 million short positions. Despite the poor momentum across the entire crypto sphere led by Bitcoin, analysts are still optimistic about Bitcoin's recovery in the next few weeks. Quoting K33 research, while the alts have faced a significant long squeeze, Bitcoin leverage remains high and steady. And then we have another analyst, Jelly, who shared the following chart in a post, and the Bitcoin price coiling up in an ascending wedge, according to the analysts. The latest drop has seen the price of the Pioneer crypto reach an area of interest, the wedge's ascending trend line, as he shares here, tapping the 100-day EMA and lower end of the ascending triangle. Bounce here, and my eyes are on 72 G's, baby. Now, the current high is 63.8, which we achieved back in mid-March. When do you feel will likely ascend back to this level and re-enter price discovery? Holla at your boy. And also, we have another analyst by the name of Mustache. He wrote, Bitcoin, I think, is still forming an inverse head and shoulders pattern. Ideally, the low of the right shoulder is where the left shoulder has found the bottom. After that, we shouldn't see prices below $70,000 for a long time. I would take advantage of this time. And then we have Rec Capital, another analyst, said Bitcoin has been in a constant downtrend throughout June, adding that the price needs to break out of the downtrend to initiate a price reversal. And another analyst, this one by the name of Yada, says a similar pullback happened around the second Bitcoin halving, and next we saw a huge bull rally in 2017. Can you say deja vu? And then we have Dan Crypto Trades. He showed liquidity level of 65 and 66.3 and explained that it could act as a magnet when the price trades close to it. And also we have CoinGlass data indicating that 64.1 is a significant area of bid liquidity just below the spot price with about 47 million in buy orders. And we're on the cusp of testing that right now. Now, what I want to share with you is some other breaking news. Then we're going to look at some live charts. Dennis Porter shared huge breaking. The Idaho Republican Party announces it'll protect the right to use Bitcoin and oppose the creation of CBDCs. As you can see here in the rectangle in the blue, we oppose the creation of a central bank digital currency, the regulation and/or excessive taxation of decentralized digital currency, such as Bitcoin, and we affirm the right of individuals to engage in commerce and exchange with cash, barter, precious metals, and decentralized digital currencies. They also stated we recognize the failure of the Federal Reserve System to maintain a sound U.S. dollar and the danger of mercantile banks controlling the issuance of our currency. Preach. So there you have it, family. And now I'm going to share with you some of the live charts. Let's do this charting live and in the flesh, which is always fun. So you should be able to see on your screen here, this is TradingView. You're looking at the 4-hour chart. It's all charted out for you. You can see the targets. We're currently sitting above 64.5 at the time of the live stream. As per Coinbase, the Coinbase exchange, we do have a big fat red target showing at 71,200 here on the 4-hour chart. And we do have a target to the bottom in the red as well, showing at $60,500. Now let's look at the, maybe we'll look at the 1-hour chart here. And we'll check out some of the other targets. So on the 1-hour chart, we do have a big target as well, sitting at a roughly $71,200. And we're going to zoom in a little bit more. This is a live chart right now from TradingView family via Coinbase. Here's the 15-minute chart, so you can get different perspective. And we still have that big red target to the upside of 71.2. And we're going to zoom in just a little bit more. Let's go to the 5-minute chart. And you can see we do have a target to the downside in the orange, sitting at 63,700. So it seems the line in the sand psychologically, to me, is going to be 60,000. Clearly, if we break below that support, who knows how much lower we can go from there, but hopefully 60,000 holds strong. We'll soon see. So that's why you guys got to let me know when you feel we'll likely hit the bottom. Do you think the bottom is currently in, or do you think we have lower to go? Holla and let me know, and I greatly appreciate that. And yeah, welcome everyone just joining the live stream. We're live and in the flesh right now. Internet Tough Guy says the 1 month. Shorts pay the longs pay the shorts. The shorts will have to pay soon. If Bitcoin hits 68.4, 2.7 billion of shorts will be liquidated. Good Lord. Talk about a win for the market makers. All ladies hodling Bitcoin are a 10 in my book. Hey, I'll say there are an 11 in my book. All lady Bitcoin hodlers are 11s. They're divine specimens, Mr. Bone Daddy. I'm just saying. That's why Kathy Wood gets honorary 11. She's a Bitcoin hodler, early adopter. What's the name of the music pour? That is a mix that Little Bubble put together. He is a crypto rapper. You should be able to find it. He put that one together, so he gets all the credit for that one. Still 300, 500 days in the bull market, and the average only 30 days generate profits. Plenty of time to make everything possible. Amen.
Now, we all know Bitcoin is the best asset.
Agreed. There is no second best.
Which one's the best crypto asset? Well, Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Okay. What's the second best? There is no second best.
I'm not saying I'm number one. I'm sorry, I lied. I'm number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
There you go. JB, I'm drinking the Whalebird Hard Kombucha, 6% alcohol. Talk about hardcore. Mr. Bone Daddy's getting a buzz during today's stream, eh? 59,952, bottom buying hard there. Abouts nibbling all the way for show. What do you think? We'll soon see. We could definitely hit a 59 and bounce back. We'll see how low she goes. It may hold, though, where we're at. We don't know. We are down 2,000 on the day, though, so it's a great BTFD opportunity, yo. Let's keep in mind, we're $1,000, we're more than $10,000 below the all-time high. So you got a $10,000 discount from the top. And that was only back in March, yo. So seize the moment. Paul Ryan, former congressman, published an article at Wall Street Journal titled "Crypto Could Staff Off the U.S. Debt Crisis." Very interesting. Oh, that is interesting. Thank you for sharing, Alex. Let's go live, baby. Thank you. You're very welcome. We appreciate all the support on the live stream. Greatly appreciate it. Little Bubble is on YouTube and has a bunch of videos. It's worth watching. Yeah, he makes a lot of tracks. In fact, we play his music all the time. Here's another one I love called "Pump It Up."
Pump, 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 pump it up. Pump, pump, pump.
You know how we do. So yeah, welcome everyone joining the stream. We're live and in the flesh on 3 platforms right now: X, Rumble, and YouTube. The chat stream you see is from the tube. So if you want to participate, ask questions, and share comments, make sure to visit us at cryptonewsalerts.net and join the live stream. Pump the likes, pump the stream, and make sure to subscribe to the pod. It's much appreciated. Respect the crab market. Respect the crab market, respect the pump. There you go. Don't respect Gary Gensler, though. I'm just saying. Who respects the chairman? That corrupt mofo. My wife bought Bitcoin before me. She's a winner. You're a lucky man. I've been saying for years, what would happen if the central banks and the Fed put some Bitcoin on their books? Well, if Trump gets in office, we'll see. You obviously have a higher probability of that coming into fruition. As long as Biden is in office, ain't no Bitcoin going on the books, yo. That's for sure. 210 already on X. Shout out to the X fam. We still got a lot to share. So pump the likes, pump the stream. And we're going to continue. Let's go to our next story of the day, eh? Our next story is this breaking news regarding Tether. Check this out. The headline here reads, Tether launches gold-backed US dollar stablecoin Alloy. That's right. Check it. Tether is introducing a gold-backed stablecoin pegged to the US dollar. It is the first tethered asset the issuer declared. The new coin is coined Alloy, AUSDT, and is mintable on the new Alloy by Tether platform. And according to the company, Alloy will be over-collateralized by Tether Gold, XAUT, a token that provides ownership of physical gold, but pegged to the US dollar. By definition, the new token is a synthetic dollar, which is designed to mimic the value and functionality of the US dollar without being directly backed by it. Now, Alloy explained in the next post that tethered assets are digital assets that aim to track the reference price of another asset through different stabilization mechanisms, quoting them here. Alloy by Tether provides long-term hodlers the opportunity to maintain exposure to gold, while in parallel obtaining a dollar reference tethered asset for payments and day-to-day economy. What are your thoughts surrounding this, fam? Let me know. Now, in the same thread, the organization said that other tethered assets, including yield-bearing products, could be created on the platform as well. As the Tether CEO, Paolo, shared right here. The synthetic dollar can be minted by depositing XUSDT through a smart contract and price oracles. Thus, users can make transactions with AUSDT while retaining their gold-backed tethered asset. Now, AUSDT was developed by Tether subsidiaries Moon Gold and Moon Gold El Salvador. Alloy by Tether will become part of the real-world asset tokenization platform launching later this year, said the Tether CEO. Meanwhile, Tether's AUSDT is not the first synthetic dollar. In August of 2022, Galloy introduced a Bitcoin-based synthetic dollar called StableSats on the Lightning Network. How many of you have heard of StableSats? I've never heard of that myself, so let me know. However, the synthetic dollar as a popular asset form came to prominence when startup Athena Labs introduced its Ether-backed dollar peg USDE in February. The launch was met with some skepticism. Asymmetry provided a variation on the concept with an algorithmically balanced synthetic dollar back in June. One analyst compared USDT favorably to USDE and other stablecoins due to Tether's high liquidity and smarter decision-making and less principal agent risk thanks to its centralized control. Tether has sweetened the deal on the new asset by offering USDT holders a bonus at a 2-to-1 ratio and has set aside 10 million AUSDT for this purpose. So there you have it. Let me know your thoughts surrounding Tether launching their gold-backed US dollar stablecoin, Alloy. Now, personally, I like Tether and USDT, hence why, you know what I mean? They set up shop in El Salvador. Even El Salvador recommends them. I believe Tether USDT is also legal tender in El Salvador, obviously. Now, let me know your thoughts surrounding all of this. I think it's actually a very interesting concept, backing their digital dollar by gold. Go figure. I'm into alloys. It's called ammo. Greg, that's hilarious. My husband already has been orange pilled. Right on. I don't know. My husband called it and didn't want to do anything with it. Mr. Bone Daddy seems counterproductive, hodling the price down. After 2033, I will be truly old and dusty and will have Bitcoin as income. What the frick? Money? FU money? BTC? A BRICS stablecoin? Maybe that's a coming too. There's been rumors, obviously, of the BRICS creating their own currency, potentially backed by gold or precious metal. I don't know how far along they are with that process, so let me know. But a lot of countries want nothing to do with the dollar anymore, so I think BRICS will continue to make big strides as the de-dollarization continues. Everybody I talk about, Bitcoin either gets a weird, polite look on their face or straight up calls Bitcoin trash. So I quit talking to people about it, says Darth Melda. Yeah, I mean, I'll be quite honest. I preach the Holy Gospel of Satoshi 7 days a week here on the stream, and the right people are attracted to it, but in real life, I'm not trying to convince anyone to do anything. In fact, I'm so introverted, I typically don't talk to anybody. I mean, mind my own business. Salam, family. Bitcoin to 32,000 on the way. Shout out, Mohammed. When it will, I mean, if you're right and you call it and we actually hit 32,000 and crash 50, whatever it is, 50% from here, then you are up there with the gods, Mohammed, figuratively speaking. And I mean, your name is Mohammed, so you are a prophet already. But anyways, God Candle, 125 to 231,000. That's what I'm talking about. Guarantee. We just got the guarantee from Mohammed. So there you have it. Not income advice, but a guarantee from Mohammed. BRICS stablecoin, fish and chips. What do we call those people that use fiat currency? Man, I thought you never asked, bro.
We call them poor. We call them poor. We call them.
I know, isn't it crazy? I'm just playing a character in my podcast. In real life, I talk to nobody. It's like my family and Nipsey. Nipsey is like, that's it. My conversations consist of me talking to the Nip, and he don't talk back. So I'm just saying. What's good, fam? BTFD, shout out McFoofinator, Titanic moves. I got an email back from my state treasurer. Nice. He said there is a working group looking at whether Bitcoin will work in the pension fund. Wow. As well as the wealth fund for my state, South Carolina. Let's go. Love to hear that, JC. Getting it done. I'm far from an ETH fan. Why? They switched from proof of work to proof of stake. Not to be confused with piece of ish. Back in September of 2022, I'm out. I don't blame you, brother. What do we call them, folks?
Poor.
Okay? You already know. You are just like a man that's reading the news. Oh, precisely what I'm here for, Yusuf. That's exactly what I do. I'm glad you recognize that. Subscribers looking for Bitcoin or submersibles. What are submersibles there, Joey? Let me know, watcher. Do you see any positive outlook for Celestial? Honestly, I don't know enough about it to speak intelligently on it. I wish Celestia a lot of success, but I don't know much about the project personally.
There's a name for it.
If any of you guys are bullish or have insights on Celestia, feel free to drop it in the comments. I'm happy to read it out loud.
We call them poor.
My mayor's still trying to convince the board the Bitcoin is worth it. Right on. Well, you have a pretty cool mayor putting in the effort to get it done, right?
them the poor.
In a positive meaning, bro. Thank you. I mean, it's precisely what I do. I read news, crypto news alerts. So you nailed it.
Okay.
Submersible miners. Okay. All right, anyways, fam, let's continue with the news. Let's discuss this Australia ETF launching here shortly. VanEck to launch the first Bitcoin ETF on Australia's security exchange this week. So let's go. And let me see if I could make this a little smaller so you can see it better in the screen. See if that helps you. Yeah, that should be better. Okay, so American investment management firm VanEck is set to launch the first spot Bitcoin ETF on Australia's securities trading platform this week. According to the official announcement from the asset management company, the spot Bitcoin ETF will go live on the Australian Securities Exchange Thursday, June 20th, which would mean Thursday, 2 days from now. Let's go. Where my Aussies at? Holla at your boy. VanEck is one of the issuers of the spot Bitcoin ETFs in the US. The firm's product, VanEck Bitcoin Trust, with the ticker HODL, held over 529 million in assets under management at this time, with a market cap of 660 million. The approval of the VanEck ETF in Australia comes 5 months after the US SEC greenlit the launch of the HODL on exchanges alongside other ETF issued by top asset managers such as BlackRock, ARK Invest, Grayscale, Fidelity, and Bitwise. VanEck said that it has been in talks with the Australian regulators about launching a spot Bitcoin ETF in the country since early 2021. The firm claims to be the first entity to submit an application with the ASX to launch the ETF and work with the Australian Securities and Investment Commission on the product's mechanics. And due to the regulatory hurdles, exchange framework challenges, and the lack of approval from the ASIC, VanEck resubmitted its app for the VBTC launch in February. And upon launch, the asset manager claims VBTC will be the lowest cost Bitcoin ETF in Australia. Quoting them here, Bitcoin's evolution continues to transform with regulated access through the ETF, now a reality in the US, marking a significant step in its global acceptance. Despite hurdles to clear in Australia, including regulatory and exchange framework challenges along with ASIC approval, VanEck intends to lead the way in bringing the first Bitcoin ETF to ASX investors. Now, it is worth mentioning that the VanEck Bitcoin ETF is not the first of its kind in Australia. That's right. Other investment managers, including Monochrome Asset Management and crypto exchange traded products issuer 21 Shares, have both launched similar products on different securities exchanges. As reported earlier in the month, Monochrome Bitcoin ETF with the ticker IBTC is the first kind of this because it does not just offer investors direct exposure to the crypto asset, but directly holds its Bitcoins in an offline device, aka cold storage. Now, I think the majority of the asset managers in the States are using custodian Coinbase to store and protect their crypto. I think there's only one major asset manager, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's Fidelity. I think they're a $4.5 trillion asset manager. They're self-custodying their biddies, while BlackRock and the rest of them are all using Coinbase. So there you have it. Let me know if anyone here in Australia has any exposure to these ETFs, or anyone even here in the United States. If you have exposure to any of the ETFs, let me know how it's going. Exactly. He stays in his lane. Respect. Shout out to Candles Don't Lie. Infinite supply like the Federal Reserve. Preach. That infinite monopoly money being printed. But we all know one thing for certain. All fiat currency returns to its true intrinsic value, which is zero. And the death of the dollar is happening, I feel personally, in real time, which only means the purchasing power of Bitcoin will continue to massively climb. In fact, I want to read something to you that MaxKeiser just tweeted sometime today or yesterday. I saw it on his timeline. He wrote, Bitcoin is unconfiscatable when properly secured, uncensorable, and mathematically guaranteed to increase in purchasing power against everything, fiat, gold, real estate, stocks, bonds, art, everything over time, which generally refers to 1 or 2 4-year cycles. So, I mean, there you go, family. I couldn't agree more, and I preach that message virtually every day. You know what I mean? I like to talk about that because it is just so true, right? Bitcoin is mathematically guaranteed to increase your purchasing power, and the dollar is mathematically guaranteed to decrease your purchasing power. Hence why we save in Bitcoin, because those who save in fiat currency
But like most of the people.
You already know. February 1st, Philippines. Shout out Boston. They won the NBA championship last night. What does that say? Steel Dove Celestia hit an all-time high back in February and is following the dip with the king, Crypto BTC. There is no second best. Amen there, brother. Yeah, Larry Pedro from Dothan, Alabama. Good price. Go, go, go. That's right, Larry. You got that opportunity. Stack some more sats. I will also point those out to the treasurer. Give them options so that the state doesn't dive into a depression with the rest of the country. That's good. Bitcoin equals freedom. Yeah, Bitcoin equals sovereignty. Bitcoin equals immutable. Bitcoin equals unf-wittable. Bitcoin equals unconfiscatable. Bitcoin equals borderless. Bitcoin equals God hacking humanity. Bitcoin equals Nipsey hacking humanity. And just saying, you already know, family. What up, fam? Welcome, everyone joining the stream. Let's freaking go. Pump the likes, pump the stream. Let's get as many eyeballs on here as possible. We're just warming up. The best is yet to come. Shout out Space Mushroom Fuzz. I always say that crypto users have the best usernames. I mean, where else are you going to find a Space Mushroom Fuzz? Just saying. I'm late, so got to rewind to the beginning. All good. Watch the live, my recommendation. And when the live stream is over in another hour or so, then you can come back and watch the replay later. Just saying. But welcome to the stream, brother. It's good to have you here. Rock and roll, my friends. Let's rock. Locked and loaded, brother. Bring it. What up, fam? Shout out Billouette from DC. Pumping it up. Running a little late. It's all good in the crypto hood.
Pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You've got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up.
Today we got the sage. I will light the sage later. And we also got some crystal alchemy for you here today. We're going to send Bitcoin price way higher. Just wait. Unmatrix yourself with Bitcoin. Very well said. Unplug for the matrix with the biddies. Bitcoin equals economic freedom, no matter where in the world you live. Facts. Yeah, I don't brag about it. I used to, but it is useless. Just keep it to myself, says Diana. That's what's up. Welcome, Billouette. Good to see you from DC. You already know. 250 on X, not too shabby. But let's do better. Everyone repost this on X right now. We'll blow it up. Let's get thousands of people on today's stream. Otherwise, we may correct lower, but hey, it's up to you guys at this point. You want to pump it up? You want the bullishness to come out? Spread the word, because we're about to get very bullish here shortly. Luna Lana, Antique Philippines, G-Boy, what it do, Mr. Neck Tour. Bitcoin pumping it up. Puff, puff, and pass, JV. Amen. Puff, puff, pass, stacking his stats, trading for cash. You know how we do.
Pump, 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 pump it up. Pump, pump, pump it up. Look.
Pump it up if you came and went long. When the dip hit, you just ape like King Kong. Precisely what you have the opportunity to do right now. Ape like King Kong.
Game and went long. When the dip hit, you just ape like King Kong. More than 5 sats in your stack.
Let's get it on. Anyone have more than 5 sats in your stack? Let's go. I need to get a cool username. I know, Don George, you have such a simple name. You could have something crazy like the rest of these folk. Just saying.
Get it on. Had the people on my back to get a song. Barry broke, have a talk.
We smoked them like a bong. Yeah. Bring your best username A game. Bear Tramp incoming. You mean trap or tramp? There's a bear tramp. Watch out, Nipsey. A bear tramp is coming to get you. Bitcoin returns the power to the people. Facts. It empowers the people. Precisely, Molly, you nailed it. Good evening, Chris. Welcome to the stream. Come on. May smash them likes. Thank you, brother. Greatly appreciate that, Bone Daddy.
Oh, yeah, we heard Kramer report that. Thank you. He said, sell, we bought more bags
Till we got a sword back. You can't short your dork. You can't afford that. Crypto to zero. They really thought that. Once the Lightning Network is built out and is happening at an epic pace, Bitcoin global transactions will happen. Sub-second of the fees will be significant. Think Swift, but with BTC. What about Bitcoin becoming a, what is it called? A global reserve asset? Where's the bear tramp? A padded bear, tramp all dolled up. All bears are tramps. Jesus Christ, you guys are very hard on the bears today. Poor bears. Orange Alchemist, Let's go. W stream, send it. Anyways, next story of the day, we're going to be discussing an 80,000 plus target from the new Binance CEO, not CZ, the new Binance CEO. Then we'll be discussing the latest from Samson Mao with his $1 million Bitcoin price prediction, followed by the latest from the high priest of Bitcoin, MaxKeiser, on why he believes Bitcoin is likely to hit $3 million per coin, tapping into a $400 trillion total addressable market, with Bitcoin allocation being just 1%. And then we'll dive into our live Q&A. Welcome everyone just joining the stream. Pump the likes, pump the stream. Let's freaking go. So yeah, the new Binance CEO, Richard Teng, is revealing his latest predictions as Bitcoin hovers in the mid 60 range. In a new interview with the Bankless YouTube channel, Teng predicts that Bitcoin will soar past 80 Gs before the year's end. His prediction for 2025 is for Bitcoin and other digital assets to have an even better year than 2024 due to improving macroeconomic conditions. So it sounds like he believes new all-time high by the end of this year in the 80s, and then next year we blow past that and we hit the cycle peak, right in alignment with many analysts' predictions, thinking 2025 is the year we peak out of the cycle. He also says the approval of the Bitcoin ETF earlier in the year and the expected approval of ETFs for Ethereum, which they're now saying July 2nd, could go live in 2 weeks, could continue to drive more liquidity into the crypto markets from traditional finance institutions and propel the bull market cycle even higher, quoting him here from the interview. I think 2025 is going to be an even better year than 2024 for the crypto industry in general, because the general macroeconomic condition will be much better. We are probably going to see an interest rate reduction towards the end of the year. There's going to be a much better macroeconomic environment, much more enlightened interest rate environment. So I think all of those will boost the crypto prices even further in 2025. So my base prediction at the end of 2023 was 80,000 for Bitcoin at the end of 2024. But what I didn't predict was the strong, robust inflows from the institutions after the launch of the Bitcoin ETF. I didn't expect the ETF to be approved so quickly, so early on in the year. My prediction for the ETF approval was possibly towards the end of 2024 or even 2025. I have changed my Bitcoin prediction because of that. My price for end of this year is much higher than 80,000. So much higher, but he goes on to say, I'm not going to give you the price, but it is much higher, keyword much higher, than my base price from the end of last year, which again was 80,000. And I think next year will be a much better year compared to this year. That's my view. You have seen a lot of analysis or analysts coming out, including from Standard Chartered, to say that by next year, Bitcoin should reach 200,000. If there is a squeeze, it should reach 250,000, which is $250,000 per biddy. So I think there is still some room to grow, both for Bitcoin as well as for tokens such as Ethereum. That ETH ETF has just been approved. Again, with all of this approval of ETFs, it brings new liquidity, new user pools. I mentioned $15 billion has flown into the Bitcoin ETFs since the beginning of the year and after the approval. And that's very robust. And we'll continue to see pretty robust institutional demand on that front. And that is really beneficial, very beneficial for the crypto community. So there you have it. And to watch this actual interview he did with the new Binance CEO and his predictions on crypto, check the show notes below the video and the description. And where do you feel? I know he is obviously not very clear on how high, but he says it'll go much higher than his base case. Where would you project that to be, considering his base case was 80,000 for the end of this year? I'm going to hypothetically say he's intending to say 100,000, but just don't want to put it out there, trying to be conservative. But what are your thoughts, family? Just took my daughter to the Mammoth Cave for the weekend, 400 plus miles of cave. Wow. Did you find anything interesting in the caves, brother? Sounds pretty interesting. Yeah, the McFoofinator, what it do? Shout out to the McNippinator as well. I love the Mammoth Cave when visited, says JC. Right on. 13. Oh, wow. Your little one close to my little one's age. JV in the chat, what's good? Shout out Jose Cuevo, what it do, broski? Let's freaking go. Shout out Digital Dankness, what's good in the hood?
Can't short your dork, we can't afford that. Wait for the pump to come, we should have bought that. Crypto to zero, they really thought that.
They really thought that, eh? That's very interesting. I mean, Jim Cramer, it's going to zero. Who's the old man, Dan Pena? Bitcoin? If you knew who was behind Bitcoin, you'd sell it already. Russia. Putin. What do you say? Putin. Putin is behind it. That clown. Anyways, 95,000 November of 2024. Binance versus Coinbase. It's about the upcoming war in the exchanges. The war shall continue, eh? Shout out Laser Cat. My oldest son, I spent Father's Day climbing through the waterfalls to get the Moose Cave in Maine. Nice. Happy belated Father's Day to the broskies. Hi from Miami. Hoping for 100 G's by the end of the year. JV M Kitchens. Cheers. I mean, 100 G's is inevitable. I mean, $1 million is really inevitable. But yeah, 100 G's, easy peasy. Send it. Hit the likes. Let's get that 60 G's, baby. 60 G's, a buying opportunity. Doing, doing, doing. Moose Cave added to my list heading this year after Niagara Falls. Nice. How you doing, JV? Bring the good news. I got you, brother. A lot of good news I've been sharing today. And it's just going to get more lit as the show goes on. So be prepared.
If it's not going to zero, it's going to $1 million.
A milli. Because we ain't going to zero. The dollar may go to zero, but Bitcoin's heading to $1 milli. All sat hodlers are behind BTC. Yeah, man. And by the time that Bitcoin hits $1 a sat, Bitcoin will be 100 million per coin. Per coin. Which means it's going up forever, Laura. Yeah, Dan Pena is definitely savage. Russia. Putin. Want to know who's behind it? Putin. So Dan Pena is ultimately misleading the public and telling everybody at his masterminds that people pay $10,000 to $50,000 to watch this old man, this old billionaire, and he tells them that Bitcoin's going to zero very passionately. It's going to freaking zero. Want to know who's behind it? Putin. Russia. It's like, oh my God. Can't make this ish up. But yeah, he's very savage, to say the least. It always concerns me when people, especially fund managers, call high. Surely they are open to the action in the case of the targeting or target. Yeah, of course. I think they're just having fun and getting exposure, like free advertisement by making the predictions, really. You know what I mean? Like Standard Chartered Bank, why do they go on a limb and say, oh, Bitcoin's going to hit 200 or 250,000? Free advertisement, really. And then we all start talking about them. We need good news, JB. I got you. Do you know the price end of the year? But I know 65 today is ridiculous. Not too shabby. I mean, you got a 10,000 discount from the top, so the chat is on fire. Did anyone see where Trump said he would remove income tax if elected? I didn't hear that. I mean, that's a great thing if it's true, but I'm a little skeptical. Bitcoin BLX weekly, Bitcoin on average goes up to fib level. Well, theoretically, a candidate can say, if I'm elected, there will be no more tax. I will end the Fed and put us on a Bitcoin standard. But doesn't mean they're actually going to do it. Like, look at Javier Milei. He spoke the Bitcoin talk to get a lot of Bitcoiners behind him, and then he threw his people under the bus. Inflation is through the roof. His people ultimately screwed, and he made it very clear he's not supporting Bitcoin. You know what I mean? So it just goes to show you a lot of crooks out there in politics. You know what I mean? Nipsey in the Sun shot Bitcoin up. Good puppy. Good puppy. Yeah, good boy. I'm not effing selling. Tell him. Janet Yellen, I'm not selling. Old millionaires are fun. Old billionaires are fun. They're hilarious. The Charlie Mungers out there. Rest in peace. He's no longer here, but yeah. That's my favorite Bitcoin saying. If it's not going to zero, it's going to $1 million. Love it and believe it. Bitcoin to $1 milli. Easy peasy. Amen, Molly. He said he is removing tax on tips. Yeah, big difference there. Tax on tips. I didn't even know you get taxed on tips. Is that even a taxable event, a tip? Like, for example, a waitress earning tips. She got to pay taxes on those tips? Shouldn't have to. It's a tip, for Christ's sake. What do you mean? The barber who receives barbershop tips is going to have to report the tips that anyone that stupid reporting cash tips is good as income? So, I mean, Jesus Christ. I will post the video in the Discord. Thank you, Dankness. We appreciate it. If he wins and that passes, I am tipping myself heavily. There you go. I just tipped myself 1,000 BTC. Take that, suckers. I like Whalebird. What's a Whalebird there, Mr. Bone Daddy? I'm not effing selling too. Amen. Nobody is effing selling. If you're selling, right, definitely at this time of the cycle, it's already post-halving. It's about to get lit. Just saying. Just like the sage is about to get lit. So stay tuned. But anyways, fam, keep the comments flowing. And I'm going to dive into our next story of the day. We got 2 more stories to share. They're both extremely bullish. So pump the likes, pump the stream, repost this. Greatly appreciated. Our next story of the day is the latest from Samson Mao and his 1 million Bitcoin price prediction. Then we'll be diving into the latest from the high priest of Bitcoin, MaxKeiser, predicting 3 million per coin. I'll break down the math and why he believes that's likely to occur. And then we'll dive into our live Q&A as we continue to pump. Sound good? So yeah, here we go. Mr. Samson Mao, shout out to the CEO right here of Jan 3. Here we go. Samson Mao, renowned Bitcoin maxi and CEO of Jan 3. How many of you know the significance of that company name? As Jan 3 is a significant date in Bitcoin. And let me know in the chat why January 3rd is so significant. And at the end of the story, we'll discuss it. So anyways, he just recently shared and tweeted again that he expects Bitcoin to reach 1 million per unit. That's right, quoting him verbatim. I know Bitcoin is going to $1 million. Let me know if you agree with that sentiment. Samson Mao is a well-known Bitcoin maxi for his predictions, which we often cover here on the show. He believes Bitcoin will inevitably reach $1 million. In fact, this year, Mao doubled down on his prediction, anticipating the fourth Bitcoin halving that took place in the second half of April. I believe it was on the 19th. Prior to that, when the January SEC officially gave the green light to trade the spot Bitcoin ETFs, these ETFs began to accumulate Bitcoin like crazy, and every day Mao stated multiple times that those purchases would eventually create a Bitcoin demand shock. That's right. And as for the halving, he said that once the block rewards are cut in half, once again, in which now they officially are, it'll create a Bitcoin supply shock. The conclusion Mao took from this was that once the demand and the supply shocks meet, they will propel the Bitcoin price as high as 1 million per coin, or even higher. Now on Monday, Mao tweeted that he knows for sure the Bitcoin is going to 1 million per coin. However, there are two nuances. He cannot predict for certain when it will happen and how quickly Bitcoin will skyrocket onto that new all-time high of 7 figures. So about a week ago, Mao also shared that the Bitcoin coil seems very much compressed now, and the longer the Godzilla candle does not appear, and the higher the odds that Bitcoin will jump up with an omega candle. Now, an omega candle would take us, obviously, to a whole new stratosphere as far as price action is concerned. He even agreed that one night the market may go to sleep with Bitcoin trading at 70,000, and then we wake up to hitting 200,000 per coin. I mean, that would be the result of an omega candle. I mean, we can get $100,000 in a single daily candle would be insane. And quoting Sentiment Analytics, Bitcoin hodlers have just had their biggest 3-day drop in non-empty wallets since just prior to the March 14th all-time high. Unlike then, Bitcoin has been sliding, provoking traders to liquidate for fear of further drops. Meanwhile, Ethereum wallets keep growing in number. This is likely the result of the recent Bitcoin consolidation, as hodlers have been selling, fearing bigger prices, plummeting and reaching even lower levels. But what are your thoughts on all of this? Do let me know. And please do note there is a live poll up on our YouTube stream right now. Let me know when you feel Bitcoin will hit the bottom. Or I should say, where do you think that bottom target will be? Do you think the bottom is already in at 64.2, whatever we tapped here this morning? Or do you think we go lower and lower? Let me know, and I'll read those comments out, and we'll end the poll here shortly after I finish the next story for you. Right side, name one thing that's cheaper than 3 years ago. Left side, right side, nothing. My side, crack pipes. That's hilarious facts. So should I not sell at all? Asked Laura. Well, depends upon your strategy. We don't give investment advice on the channel, but I know HODL be thy name is one of the 10 sat commandments. So, I mean, if you trust in Bitcoin and Satoshi, I would follow the 10 sat commandments, just saying.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
It's the 10 sats commandments. Came into this game and it made me an animal.
There's rules to this ish, so I wrote me a manual. That's the Bitcoin white paper, broskies. Whalebird is a hard kombucha, 6% alcohol. How many you got to drink to get drunk there? I'm going to assume 6. JV, I added the video where Trump talked about removing payroll taxes. Thank you. So if you guys want to see that video, head on over to the Discord. It's discord.cryptonewsalerts.net. We got a very tight community over there. It's free to join. We have a lot of active channels where you can communicate and interact with the fam. Highly encourage it. And I recommend doing it on the mobile device because Discord is pretty lit on mobile. On a computer, I mean, I'm not the biggest computer Discord fan, but to each their own. Shout out Bone Daddy. We appreciate you, brother. We are at the bottom. Started from the bottom. Now we here. Yeah. A 12-pack is a 12-pack, eh? You got to do what you got to do. That's a starter pack, though. I see. I said. We are at the bottom. Yeah, man. I mean, bottom may be in. We're pumping right now. Pumping it up to the moon. Infinity and beyond. Where no man has gone before. Warren G, the bulls are regulating. You got a handy with your biddies, if you know what I mean. Earn your keep. Bitinators. Mono.
Regulators. We regulate any.
They damn good, too. AI generated rap. Green candles lighting up. The charts on fire. $1 million coin. That's the heart's desire. Sailors leading the charge with a plan so bold. Bitcoin's future is worth more than gold. Dropping the bars. I dig it, Mr. Hobbit. I dig it. Just more highly leveraged traders getting hit. Trump did suggest the stability of eliminating the income tax. That information is legit. Well, boom, shakalaka. I love you, JB. I was watching, remember Jim Brewer? Hilarious comedian. There was like a viral clip going around, and he's like, I've never met anyone. Like, speak positively about Joe Biden. He's like, all the bumper stickers are FJB or F Joe Biden. No one just representing Joe Biden. Meanwhile, it is insanity. We're living in a clown world, family. Regulators!
Stealing of his property. We're damn good, too. But you can't be any geek off the street.
Can't be no geek off the street. You know what I mean? We stack biddies to earn our keep. Preach.
Gotta be handy with the steel, if you know what I mean. Earn your keep.
Here we go. My favorite part of the track right here.
Regulators! Mount up.
Woo! It was a clear black night, a clear white moon. Nipsey was on the streets. My keys got lost. I was sober. My girlfriend at the time was drunk, though. Girls always get drunk. What's up with that? They can't just be sober like the broskies. Come on, ladies. It's so like 1970s. You know what I mean?
It was a clear black night, a clear white moon. Warren G was on the streets.
I got hit with the freaking regulators copyright claim yesterday, so I'm extra careful today. Drunk chatting. Exactly. Who does that? She took them. She lost them. She didn't want me driving drunk. I was sober. The movie stars love Brandon. I don't watch their movies anymore. See, on a mission to stack more BTC. You already know. Wow, Bone Daddy loves the drunk ladies. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. No Diddy. Mono. So 70s. That 70s show, bro. Anyways. Now for our feature story of the day, let's discuss the latest from the high priest of Bitcoin, MaxKeiser. He recently made a very bullish price prediction, which I transcribed from an interview. Him predicting Bitcoin hitting 3 million, as well as breaking down the math on how we're likely to get there, and also breaking news as well. He also shared that if we do this GameStop Bitcoin allocation, and they actually put the biddies on the balance sheet, it can drive the stock price up to $1,000. You know what I mean? So we're going to be discussing all this right now. But first, let's start with some of the recent tweets. I want to start right here. And this is transcribing a interview from MaxKeiser that he recently shared. So how big is the global market? It's like $400 trillion, referring to the total addressable market. So what if Bitcoin just gets 1% of that market, the total addressable market? Well, then it's $1 million, $2 million, or $3 million per Bitcoin. And I think a couple of things we are going to see happen. Number one, people will no longer accept fiat money for BTC. So you're going to try to buy Bitcoin with your fiat money, and no one will take your fiat money. No one will take your dollars at all. So that will be the moment of panic. You have no choice because the fiat money world and everything that's not Bitcoin is going to zero against Bitcoin. So if you're not in Bitcoin, whatever you're in is going to zero against Bitcoin. And that includes everything, real estate, precious metals, you name it. He also recently shared, in which I transcribed, Iran already got 3% of the global hash rate. So now I think Venezuela will get 3 to 5% pretty quickly. And then at some point, America will say, we've got to enter the 21st century space race of mining Bitcoin, and then they'll try to seek 20% of the hash rate. Then security goes up dramatically, and the price then goes to 400,000, 500,000 per coin. He's been referencing global hash wars for quite some time, and now that you got Trump discussing Bitcoin and this becoming a major topic at the next presidential debate scheduled to take place, I believe, November 5th or whatever, this is a pretty big deal. I mean, what if America said we need to capture 20% of the hash rate, and there is just a global hash war breaking out like we're already seeing in countries around the world? It's going to drive the Bitcoin price up tremendously. Quick shout out to Mr. Bone Daddy. He just gifted 5 memberships of the to the following: Erstats, Richard Jones, Russell Mahoney, Jacob, and Pat Welch. You've all been hooked up with the MicroStrategy membership of the channel. On behalf of Bone Daddy, we greatly appreciate your giving. Thank you so much. Now that you're a member of the channel family, your names are going to be green, and you're going to have a star icon next to your name. Every month, that icon is going to change color. Now you get priority commenting and recognition there in the chat. So we greatly appreciate all the support. Give it up for Mr. Bone Daddy for hooking it up. That's very kind of you, broski. But anyways, back to some of these predictions. Now, also, this headline reads, GameStop implementing a Bitcoin treasury strategy would be a brilliant move and can push their stock to $1,000. Now, you know, Roaring Kitty, he did this huge stream, you know, I don't know, maybe a week ago, had over 650,000 live concurrent viewers on there, which is mind boggling. And I think if the stock price only hit $60, that would have turned his unrealized profit in his position to literally $1 billion, which is, you know, mind boggling. And now, let me see if I can refresh the article because I don't know what happened. It just like kicked me off. I can't see the contents. So it's like, you need to register to see it. Damn it. I was just reading. I was just looking at it for free. Anyways, if they want to be like that, be like that. I'm just going to read you some of the highlights. MaxKeiser sparks a buzz with a bold $1,000 price target for GameStop if it follows MicroStrategy's Bitcoin playbook. Crypto trader commended the advice as being brilliant move for GameStop. And let's just discuss that for a few moments. So yeah, GameStop is very cash heavy right now. If they were to hypothetically put, let's say, $1 billion to $5 billion, whatever their market cap is, and back it with Bitcoin as a strategic, as Max puts it here, as a, what's the term he used? As a Bitcoin treasury strategy, it could be a brilliant move and it can send the stock price soaring more than 10x, right? Because 10x would just be probably, what is that, $300 stock price, but he's saying 1,000, so maybe 20x, 25x, whatever the exact numbers are. I don't know. But I think MicroStrategy, well, I know, was the first publicly traded company to put the Bitcoin on the balance sheet. This was back in 2020. It was a genius move. And Michael Saylor looked at it as the only way to save his company because they were burning so much capital because they're cash heavy due to inflation and keeping anything in the bank. It's like a melting ice cube as he described it, right? So he put the Bitcoin on the balance sheet as a strategic move, and MicroStrategy has been blowing up. I think they now have roughly, I don't know at this current time, but the other day when I read their numbers, I think they were worth roughly 15 billion worth of Bitcoin. So obviously massive gains. And he just recently announced purchasing another 700 million through a convertible note, which is probably in the process of happening right now during this dip. So we already know the smart money is going to continue to accumulate sats because that's what the whales, AKA the smart money, do. Now, other companies have also put the biddies on the balance sheet. You had Tesla, you had SpaceX, you know, Elon's companies. Now, granted, Elon sold the majority of those biddies from Tesla, which was a massive mistake because he'd be up so much more if he didn't do that. It is what it is. And there's other countries doing the same thing. There's a Japanese stock, I think it's MetaPlanet, recently announced putting Bitcoin on the balance sheet. And now we have the game theory playing out in states across America doing the same thing. You know what I mean? Like pension funds, retirement funds, and all sorts of stuff. So Bitcoin adoption is ultimately continuing to gain traction, which is a beautiful thing. We also have the institutional FOMO, which wasn't here this time previous cycle, 4 years ago. So the institutional adoption really kicked in this year with the ETFs when they commenced their, ETFs went live on January 11th, 5 months ago. And since then, the ETFs have now collectively accumulated roughly 5% of the Bitcoin circulating supply. Mind-boggling. Over 1 million Bitcoin accumulated through the ETF within 5 months. It took MicroStrategy freaking 4 years since 2020 to achieve 214,000 BTC on their balance sheet. And BlackRock achieved that. They now have like roughly 300,000 Bitcoin, now the largest holder of Bitcoin through Coinbase, of course, their custodian. But they achieved this in 5 months since January 11th. So what BlackRock just achieved took MicroStrategy 4 years. So hypothetically speaking, how much more Bitcoin will be accumulated over the next 4 years, like an entire cycle. It's going to get insane. And Max has also warned us several times that he believes there is a ultimate plot, that they're going to take the Bitcoin ETF BTC, the United States government that is, and confiscate it in the name of national security. So self-custody those biddies if you have the opportunity to do so. Obviously, it's the safest, most secure, and only unconfiscatable way to secure your biddies. You got to keep that in mind. Not your keys, not your coins. So if you're keeping your crypto right now on any of the exchanges, it can be taken from you. What happened previous cycle? FTX, second largest crypto exchange in the world. It had sponsors like Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank, Stephen Curry, Brad Brady, what is his name? Tom Brady. All the big influencers in the world were all promoting FTX. Then what happened? Bankman-Fried, within 24 hours from the time they announced filing Chapter 11 bankruptcy, don't worry, guys. Your funds are completely safe. The exchange is not going anywhere. We're going to be here for you guys. I mean, a few hours later, I'm sorry, guys, we're filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. All the funds in the exchange have been frozen, and nobody gets their crypto, and the investors are still waiting to be repaid back. And when they do get repaid back, hypothetically speaking, if you had one Bitcoin on the exchange, they're only going to be crediting you $16,000. They're not going to return your Bitcoin. They're just going to give you the Bitcoin fiat dollar worth at the bottom of the market, because that's what corrupt mofos do. Unfortunately. So don't keep crypto on the exchange unless you're actively in a trade, and it must be on the exchange. There should be a purpose or reasoning for storing crypto on an exchange, right? Meaning it's actively being traded, maybe, for an example. But if you're treating your, if you're treating the exchange as, your wallet, you're missing the boat altogether, because not only can it be confiscated from you if the government wanted it in the name of national security, which can happen down the pipeline, but also something could happen to the exchange. If it can happen to the second largest exchange, it could happen to the number one exchange. It could happen to the third exchange, fifth exchange, 100th exchange. That's why I do not recommend keeping your crypto on the exchanges. Self-custody, way to go. Just saying. What are your favorite self-custody devices? Please do let me know. And what are your thoughts surrounding Bitcoin achieving just a 1%, very modest allocation into a $400 trillion total addressable market, sending Bitcoin to $123 million per coin? And hypothetically speaking, what if Bitcoin achieved 5% allocation? What if Bitcoin achieved 84.9% allocation? I discussed this in yesterday's pod. According to a BlackRock study from 2022, a research report they released, their ideal Bitcoin allocation portfolio recommendation is 84.9%. Hypothetically speaking, if 1% of the total addressable market achieves a $3 million Bitcoin price, what would happen with 85% allocation? Hypothetically speaking, let me know. And when do you feel Bitcoin will finally break that 6-figure mark so we can have our fiesta out here in Puerto Rico? Let me know. And when do you feel we'll achieve the 7-figure milestone? My personal prediction is by the year 2029. I have a personal target for this cycle on a low of 222,000 and as a high 750,000 per coin. But I want to know your thoughts. Then I think the following cycle is when we finally break the coveted 7-figure mark. But I want to know your thoughts. Welcome to the Q&A segment of the live show. We're back at 65 G's, baby. Make some noise for that. We're a pumping, and we're just getting this mofo lit. So let's freaking go. Welcome everyone just joining the stream. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to ask. Make sure to join us on the tube. This is the comment stream coming from the tube right now. The direct link is cryptonewsalerts.net. If you're watching this on X, if you guys can repost it, spread the word. We're going to do a Q&A segment for the next hour or so. So let's freaking go. Ledger Nano is what I use, says Chris. Bitcoin Stew, Tangent, easiest ever to use. Facts, supposed to finally get my Ledger stacks. Let's go. Be your own bank. Amen, Steve. USA may nationalize real estate if things get that bad. The government can seize any assets they want with military backing. Everything except properly self-custodied Bitcoin, because you can remember a code and they can't extract your brain. They're not mummifying you. You know what I mean? We're not in ancient Egypt. They're not going to stick a hanger in your nose and pull out your brain. Thank God. Bitcoin dominance today is so high as if we already hit 1 milli. Amen. I put my ish on the ledger, but the biddies on the Trezor. Smart man, Mr. Bone Daddy. Very smart man. Keeping Bitcoin in the exchange is centralizing your best asset that was designed to be decentralized. Single point of failure. Precisely my thought. It's ultimately a honeypot for hackers as well. So hypothetically speaking, you have all your crypto in a Bitcoin wallet you don't own or control, and it's online on an exchange. It's just a target. It's a honeypot at the end of the day. 120,000 before the end of the year. You're speaking my language, D-Dog. Send it. 65 G's. I was the second batch of orders back in December of 2022. Wow, you've been waiting that long, brother. Whoa. A variety of the ledgers and the treasures. Ouch. 28, 29, doable with the market and supply demand shock. The government is trying to federalize everything. I agree. I'm thinking 250 to 750 for the 2025 top of the bull run. Send it, JV. I have Trezor and a tangent. Please. It's easy. If you could pass down some of the knowledge you have learned in your years of crypto experience, what knowledge would you pass down? HODL be thy name. HODL. HODL is far as you can HODL. And if you can do that, you're going to be very happy. And treat Bitcoin as a savings. Don't have to look at Bitcoin as an investment vehicle. I know many of us are not really investors. We're just Bitcoiners or Bitcoin hodlers. But if you can treat Bitcoin as a savings account and stop saving in fiat, because those who save in fiat, we call them poor. Those who save in Bitcoin, we call them genius. So all you got to do is HODL and dollar cost average. That's exactly what Michael Saylor is doing. Don't overcomplicate something so simple. All you do, treat Bitcoin as a savings account, meaning if you have money in a savings account in a bank, remove the money from your JP Morgan Chase savings account, virtually earning you zero yield and costing you 20% per year in inflation because you're losing money. The savings account that you have, you're losing money. But if you can save in Bitcoin, you're mathematically guaranteed to increase your purchasing power. And that's a mathematical certainty, a guarantee. What has been Bitcoin doing against the dollar for the past 15 years? It's just been going hyperbolic, you know what I mean, in purchasing power, and it's going to continue to do so. There will be a day for one Bitcoin, you can probably buy your dream house. It'll be a multi-million-dollar mansion, and you can probably buy a half a dozen of your favorite exotic sport cars if you're willing to HODL, and if you have the patience and the balls, you know what I mean, the kahunas to HODL. It all depends on that. The longer you can HODL, the more your gains. Diamond hands and laser eyes. We so early, that's for surely. We don't even care about price. Amen to that. I'm coming to the 100K party. That's what's up, D-Dog. Looking forward to seeing you there. How can we support you, JV? Where do we go? In the description of the video on Rumble and on YouTube, I always have all the ways you can support us. The free way to do so, simply interact in the chat exactly as you guys are already doing. And if you guys can repost this over on X and smash the like, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notifications, that's the free way to support us. It does help out tremendously, and everyone can contribute in that way. The other way, if you want to take it above that, we do have memberships here on the channel. Next to the subscribe button, it'll say join. You can join us and become a member of the HODL gang for as little as $2.97 per month. We also have a Patreon, which can be found at patreon.cryptonewsalerts.net. You can also send via the Lightning Network. You can zap some sats. For example, if you have like a Strike app, you can just send some sats, zap them as a tip, which I appreciate because YouTube don't get a cut of that. Woo, woo. And also, if you want to donate Ethereum, I do have an Ethereum address in the description as well. And any way you can contribute and help is greatly appreciated, regardless to what ends. Drop them likes. Thank you, Ty Fox. Greatly appreciate it. In the future, there'll be a multi-million-dollar shacks. Probably. Like I mentioned earlier, I lived in the hood. My first house I ever bought was $69,000. Now it's like $300,000 plus, and it's in the ghetto. And I would consider it like a crack house in that sense, as the entire neighborhood is drug infested. That's what you get in America for that price. Mind-boggling, right? Thank inflation and money printer continuing to go burr for that one. Darth Miller. I have orange pilled my oldest son a couple of years ago. Can he come to Puerto Rico too? I need him to guide me back to the hotel. Probably a smart move there, Steve. Someday I will sit on top of the mountain, a sats, and throw a couple of my mountain to buy a new wife and a car. Wait, you say a new wife? To buy a new wife and a car? That's hilarious. Oh my God. A new car. Just bought one last month, but 67,000 miles isn't new. That is true. Bank account is a crematorium for your working time and power. For real. JV always coming through with the heat. You know how we do. I appreciate that, family. Bitcoin bouncing back already. We're back in the green. Getting close. Only 1,400 now down for the day. Let's go.
Again, you can call me 3AC because I'm blowing it up. Short squeeze, more please. Yeah, it's going to pump.
It's going to pump, 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 pump it up. 60 G's. Let's light the sage. I think it's that time, family.
Bitcoin, 60 G's, 60 G's. Buying opportunity for fifth level sexy G's. What do you think, JV? Oh, by the biddy. Who cares about a roaring kitty?
Boring kitty.
Not me.
I'm for the biddy. I'm for the nippinator. I'm for Nipsey.
Not for the weirdo
Kit Kat kitties.
cat. A kitty cat. I'm for
Stacking them sats. Yes, I got you, JC. Let's see the comment. Let's see. It's amazing that we are thinking that 65 is low. We were around 35 to 40,000 at the beginning of the year, 100%. And the year prior, we were at 18,000 to kick off the year. So let that sink in, family. Let that sink in. 100% with you on that, JC. It's already up 75,000 miles. I've been a cruising. Whoa. JV, would you own a vacation home in El Salvador? 110%. When they just announced a Bitcoin bank where you can borrow against your Bitcoin, what do you think the first thing that was on my mind? Like, whoa, imagine that. Hell yeah, I'd love to borrow against my Bitcoin and purchase some more real estate. I trust El Salvador. I trust Bukele. And granted, I've never been there. I have spent several years living in Central America, maybe not specifically El Salvador, but I've lived in Costa Rica for many years, and I think I would love El Salvador, and I'll probably fall in love with it as soon as I visit, and I'll probably want to buy a property. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. How about y'all? Any of you looking to relocate potentially El Salvador, or buy a vacation home, or potentially one day in the future borrow against your Bitcoin to buy something tangible? Let me know your thoughts. Obviously, you know, I mean, there's different options, but if you don't want to sell your Bitcoin, you can borrow against it. Granted, you borrow responsibly and you're in a position to pay it back because you don't want to lose your collateral. Because typically, when you borrow against your biddies, you're probably going to have to give double the collateral of the value of the loan. At least that's how it worked when I purchased this house using Bitcoin-backed loan, using Bitcoin as collateral. You know what I mean? Time to squeeze. Let's go. I'd be happy with a used wife. No need for the new. Dirty. Keeping it dirty. 110 says, Bone Daddy, can't wait to experience my first bull run. I'm all for you, brother. It's going to be fun. Definitely. Real estate in El Salvador. You already know, JC. I see El Salvador becoming a drug lord of that drug slinging in the biddies. What? Ty Fox. Thanks, JV, for pumping up my attitude. You're very welcome. It's just the beginning. Potentially buy a few houses, live in one, rent one, expatriate word. Parabolic party. Let's go. But I spend the weekends taking care of the homes, relationships, cars. There will always be your kids. Hide your kids, hide your wives, hide your wives, hide your kids. Rotan, Honduras. Oh, Honduras. You been to Honduras? Are you from Honduras, B-Calf? Buying land around the world is the goal. Multiple countries and a boat. That won't sink. Imagine that. Borrow and buy more biddies. There you go. Another strategy for you. Let others borrow your Bitcoin. Don't borrow against your own assets. Gene Simmons was shilling Bitcoin on Wild Ride with Steve. No way. Gene Simmons from Kiss. He's still going strong. Wow. God bless him. Shout out Steve-O. I saw the episode of the pod with Steve Wozniak. Wozniak, the co-founder of Apple, also very bullish on Bitcoin. It's called collateral, which can lead to damage. Collateral damage sure can. I know from firsthand experience. If the market crashes, you're screwed. You got to keep that in mind. Shout out Bone Daddy. Just gifted 5 memberships. Greatly appreciated, brother. I buy a refugee home in Portugal. Nice. I have been to the Isla Rotan, Honduras. Nice. So, yeah, congrats. Ty Fox, 8 Point, Steve, Pluto Bolic, Myra, and James Obleton. You've all been hooked up with the MicroStrategy membership of the channel. On behalf of Mr. Bone Daddy, you guys have been getting hooked up and blessed. Welcome all the new members. Greatly appreciate that. The beauty of buying rental property in a growing area like El Salvador is that your retirement income will keep up with inflation. Yeah, MaxKeiser projects the real estate values in El Salvador to double or triple within the next 5 years. That's what you get when you move to a Bitcoin standard, fam. I'm going to fix up my family home in Sicily. Nice. And Germany. I love that, JC. That's what's up. Whoa. Meant to play this one.
Stack the sats, ain't no thing, baby. It's a chance to stack those sats, chance to stack the big T's. Baby, you never heard about me with another coin. Bitcoin on my mind, on my Bitcoin, and my Bitcoin on my mind. 60 G's, 60 G's, I'm buying opportunity. And on Bitcoin. But I don't sweat it, because it's just pathetic to let it get me involved in that sell on the dip crowd, sell on the dip crowd, dip sell, dope sell, no sell, no I won't Bitcoin sell, I'm no sellout, Bitcoin.
And 100%, this is the time where millionaires are being made, billionaires are being made, 1,000%, yo.
Roger out.
Shout out JBZ, what it do, broski? Welcome to the stream. Better late than never, eh? We back above 65. The bottom is in. Oh, let's end the poll. Let's see how we did. Let's end the poll really quick. Let's see how we did. End the poll. Okay, let's see. Should be on the screen. Okay, so Bitcoin bottom, how low will we go? 46% of you said between 60 to 63 thou. 27% of you said it's in. 15% of you said 55 to 59, and 10% of you said even lower than that. That was with roughly 300 votes. We appreciate you participating in today's live poll. What we're going to do next, we're going to continue with the uncensored version of the pod, which is exclusive on Rumble and X. Moving forward as of today. So if you're on YouTube right now, I know we got over 200 folk here on the live stream. Head on over to rumble.cryptonewsalerts.net and let's continue with the uncensored version of the pod, because there are some things I'm not allowed to talk about on highly censored communities like this, unfortunately, and I like to speak freely without having to look over my shoulder, if you know what I mean. So head on over to rumble.cryptonewsalerts.net and let's continue with the uncensored version of the pod. Let's get ready to rumble. Deuces. YouTube stream should be finishing out. We're going to switch on over to Rumble.